chaos. It's something we've all experienced. A moment where your mind is racing, your heart is pounding, and everything feels out of control. It might be triggered by stress at work, an argument, or simply an overwhelming flood of emotions. You want to stop the spiral, but how? The answer might be simpler than you think. Your five senses, sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste, can be your greatest allies in regaining control. But why? What makes them so powerful? The science behind the senses: our brains are wired to respond to sensory input. Long before modern life complicated things, our senses were the key to survival. Sight helped us detect danger, sound alerted us to approaching threats, touch grounded us in our environment, smell warned us of poisons or comforted us with familiarity, and taste guided us in choosing what to consume. But beyond survival, our senses are deeply connected to memory and emotion. A single scent can transport you back in time. A familiar song can bring tears to your eyes. A single touch can provide comfort in ways words never could. This is because sensory experiences are processed in the limbic system, the part of the brain responsible for emotion and memory. That's why when you're overwhelmed, engaging your senses can interrupt anxious thoughts and bring you back to the present moment. Sight: how what you see shapes your mind. Have you ever walked into a cluttered room and instantly felt stressed? Or looked out at the ocean and felt your worries melt away? That's because what we see influences how we feel. The brain processes visual information faster than any other sense, making it one of the most powerful tools in shaping our emotions. Think about colors. Studies show that warm colors like red and yellow can increase energy levels, while cooler tones like blue and green can have a calming effect. That's why hospitals and spas often use soft, muted colors, because they naturally ease anxiety. And then there's movement. Watching water ripple, leaves sway in the wind, or flames flicker in a fireplace can have a hypnotic, almost meditative effect. This is because repetitive, rhythmic motion signals the brain to slow down, syncing our breathing and heart rate with the steady movement we're observing. Sound: the invisible force that alters emotion. Sound is everywhere, whether we're paying attention to it or not. But have you ever noticed how different types of sound affect your mood? The sound of laughter can lift your spirits. A baby crying can trigger stress. A familiar melody can transport you to another time in your life. This happens because sound vibrations physically impact the brain. Studies have shown that certain frequencies of sound can slow heart rate and reduce cortisol levels, the hormone responsible for stress. That's why nature sounds, soft music, or even white noise can be incredibly soothing. But sound isn't just external. The sounds we create, our own voice, humming, or even controlled breathing, can influence our nervous system. Chanting or singing isn't just a cultural or spiritual practice, it's a way of regulating emotions through vibration and rhythm. Touch: the forgotten sense that grounds us. Touch is often the most overlooked of the senses, but it's one of the most powerful. From the moment we are born, physical contact provides a sense of security. Studies show that a simple hug can release oxytocin, the hormone responsible for bonding and trust, while also reducing stress hormones. But it's not just human touch that matters. Texture, weight, and temperature all play a role in how we experience the world. Holding a smooth stone, feeling the coolness of water, or wrapping yourself in a weighted blanket can shift your mental state almost instantly. Ever noticed how people instinctively rub their hands together when nervous? Or hold their own arms when feeling uneasy? That's the body's natural way of self-soothing through touch. It's a built-in calming mechanism we often don't even realize we're using. Smell: the shortcut to emotion. Of all the senses, smell is the most closely tied to memory and emotion. That's because the olfactory system is directly linked to the brain's limbic system, which controls feelings and memories. This is why a single whiff of a familiar perfume can bring back vivid memories of a person or place. Unlike sight or sound, which require processing, smell creates an almost instant emotional reaction. That's why certain scents, like lavender, vanilla, or pine, are often used in aromatherapy. They don't just smell good, They trigger physiological responses that promote relaxation. But scent is personal. What suits one person might not work for another. The smell of coffee brewing might make one person feel at home, while another finds comfort in the scent of old books or fresh-cut grass. The key is identifying which scents resonate with you and using them intentionally. Taste. A direct line to the present moment. Taste is often the last sense we think of in relation to stress, but it plays a crucial role in grounding us. Unlike other senses, taste requires full engagement. You can glance at something without fully seeing it, or hear background noise without paying attention, but you can't taste something without actively experiencing it. Why this works, and how to use it when life feels chaotic. The mind often gets stuck in a loop, overanalyzing the past or worrying about the future. Engaging the senses is a way to break that cycle, pulling us back into the here and now. But it's not just about using one sense in isolation. The most effective way to regain control is to combine them. Think about the most comforting moments in life, watching a sunset with a warm drink in hand, listening to music while wrapped in a blanket, smelling fresh rain while feeling the cool breeze on your skin. These experiences are powerful because they engage multiple senses at once. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, take a moment to notice what's around you. What do you see? What do you hear? What can you touch, smell, or taste? Your senses are more than just ways to experience the world. They are tools for balance, presence, and peace. This campaign on Let's Talk About Mental Health is an initiative by UDRC, Urban and Development Resource Center, dedicated to spreading awareness, reducing stigma, and offering support for mental health. Together, we can create a world where mental health is cared for, understood, and supported.